chosen ones, have they started to feel the emptiness left by your absence? Are they beginning to realize that no one else can bring the depth, strength, and clarity you once gave so effortlessly? They looked at you and saw just another face, just another soul walking through the humdrum of life, blending into the everyday blur. They mistook your steady presence for permanence, your kindness for simplicity, and your insight for mere common sense. They overlooked the brilliance in your quiet endurance, the steadiness in your conviction, assuming it was something anyone could replicate. But what they missed was the way you elevated everything around you. They didn't realize that the warmth in your words wasn't just politeness. It was a profound empathy they'd rarely encountered. The energy you brought was a lifeline they didn't recognize as such. You were the steadying force, a center of gravity that made their world feel right, yet they looked past it, blind to the weight of your presence. They treated your gentleness as a given, not realizing it was a conscious choice to bring light into a world too often shadowed by indifference. In their oversight, they clung to the illusion that someone else could step into your role, that your contributions were replaceable. When they heard you speak, they nodded along, not fully grasping the precision in your words, the way you could unravel complex truths with simplicity and grace. To them, your insights were accessible, your strength commonplace. They failed to see that few possess the unyielding resilience you carry, your persistence in the face of struggle, your dedication to lifting others, and your ability to find meaning where others see only chaos. These weren't traits everyone held, they were uniquely yours. In their misjudgment, they treated your support as a comfort they were entitled to. You became the pillar they leaned on, the source of calm in their storm, but to them that strength was unremarkable, as if anyone could be as unfaltering. They mistook the peace you brought for something they could summon at will, not understanding that it was your presence, your perspective that provided it. They could not fathom that your light was a choice and a rarity. When they needed guidance, they sought you out, expecting you would always be there, never realizing that each time you extended yourself, it was a piece of yourself that you gave away willingly. They didn't see the toll, the invisible weight you bore from carrying their burdens. They assumed you were unaffected, untouched by the storms you shielded them from. Your care to them seemed effortless when, in truth, it was rooted in an uncommon depth of strength, a strength they would only notice once it was gone. The tragedy of their oversight was in their belief that you were expendable, that they could replace what you offered. They thought your loyalty was something they'd find again, that your understanding could be recreated in someone else. They mistook the depth of your patience, the sincerity of your empathy as qualities they would easily come across in another. To them, you were a convenience, a comfort they never fully appreciated, and in their indifference, they missed the beauty of what you provided, the unique way you filled the spaces they didn't even know were empty. In your absence, they come to realize the stark truth. What you brought was irreplaceable, a gift that cannot be duplicated. The air feels heavier without your energy, conversations lack the insight you once infused, and the spaces you once illuminated feel dimmer. They begin to grasp the enormity of their loss, feeling the cold void left behind. Only then, in the echo of what you once were to them, do they understand that you were never just another presence. You were a rare force, an overlooked treasure they could never reclaim. They try to fill the void with others, meeting new faces, inviting different voices into their space, reaching out for the same understanding, depth and resonance you once gave so freely. But every comparison only makes it clearer. You were a rare current in their lives, a distinct and irreplaceable pulse. Each attempt to substitute what you offered falls flat, leaving them in a fruitless search, grasping at echoes that fade before they can bring any comfort. Where they once saw you as replaceable, they now feel the unmistakable weight of your absence, an absence that follows them like a shadow, unavoidable, unshakable. They had once believed naively that kindness, empathy, and insight like yours were common, that anyone could step into the role you had quietly taken up. But now they see that your authenticity was not a convenience or a courtesy. It was a force, a truth that shaped their lives in ways they were blind to before. Others can't match the way you listened, the way your presence brought warmth and understanding to even the harshest moments. In you, they found a depth that they took for granted, believing it to be commonplace, only to realize too late that it was anything but. As they continue their search, they find themselves coming up short, realizing that no one they meet carries the same integrity, the same unwavering loyalty. Where once they dismissed these qualities as easy to come by, they now understand that you gave them a rare gift, one they can no longer reach, no longer bask in. The laughter shared with others feels thin, the conversations shallow, missing the weight, the nuance, the sense of being seen and understood that you offered without hesitation. It dawns on them gradually but surely that what they once had with you is a rarity they can't recreate. In the quiet hours when they are left to sit with the empty, they begin to truly grasp what they've lost. You were the constant, the anchor that kept them steady, the light that colored their world with clarity and depth. Without you, they face the harshness of reality alone, no longer shielded by your strength, your insight, or your unwavering support. They are left with the echo of your voice, a faint reminder of the wisdom they once brushed off, and a lingering regret for the moments they dismissed, the value they ignored. They now understand, as they drift from one unsatisfying connection to the next, that you were irreplaceable. You were a pillar they leaned on, and without you, they feel the emptiness stretch on, unyielding and cold. In that realization, they come to see all too clearly that you were never just another person. You were the rarest of gifts, a chosen one whose absence leaves a void no one else can fill. Step into the fullness of this power. Obsidian Inner Order, powered by Mini-Master, is here to amplify the strength you carry, to remind you of the impact you make simply by being who you are. Join a space that celebrates your uniqueness, that stands with you as you claim your role as a guiding force, as the one no one else can replace. The link is in the description below. In their pursuit of a replacement, they are met with the hard truth that what you offered cannot be fabricated. The strength you held, the unwavering resilience that made every room feel steadier, safer, was not something anyone else could simply conjure. They finally understand that your kindness wasn't mere politeness, but a deeply rooted empathy that wrapped itself around those in your presence. It was the way you listened, not just hearing words, but absorbing their weight, giving others the sense they mattered. Now, as they attempt to find this elsewhere, they're met with hollow interactions, leaving them to confront the truth they had been avoiding. You were irreplaceable. This realization settles heavily upon them like a fog lifting to reveal a landscape now altered, absent of the warmth you once provided. You were a rare balance of compassion and strength, a person who could be both anchor and flame, steadying others without dimming your own light. In your presence, people felt understood, seen, and valued. With you, there was no need to wear masks or dilute the true you. You allowed others to be wholly themselves. They now see that this was not a common trait, that it was a gift only you could provide, a combination of authenticity and resilience that cannot be found simply because they seek it. This clarity brings with it a sense of awe tinged with regret. What they dismissed as just how you were now strikes them as an unmatched and unique quality. They recognized that your presence was more than comforting. It was transformative, leaving an impact that no one else can replicate. They see that your compassion was not the hollow, practiced kindness that others offer out of habit. It was a fierce, intentional warmth that burned brightly in every interaction. It wasn't easy or effortless. It was a deliberate choice you made time and time again to see people deeply, to care deeply, and to give without expecting anything in return. Now, in this newfound awareness, they are left to reckon with the reality of what you were and what they overlooked. They begin to understand that the steadiness you brought to their world was a rare force, that your authenticity and strength were qualities born from countless acts of inner courage, from a profound sense of self. In your absence, they are left with the void, the place where your presence once stood, like a pillar, irreplaceable and firm. They realize that what they took as a given was a rarity, a once-in-a-lifetime gift that cannot be summoned again. You stand out in their mind now as a singular figure, someone whose value could never be duplicated. They come to accept that you are unforgettable, that no one else can embody the qualities you brought to their lives. You are the echo they now hear in empty moments, the quiet reminder of what real connection feels like. You are the memory that stands tall, untarnished, unreplaceable, a constant reminder that they once had something truly remarkable and, through their own blindness, let it slip away. This clarity, sharp and undeniable, is the burden they now carry as your presence becomes a cherished, haunting memory, forever unmatched in its impact. You've moved forward, shedding the weight of those who never saw you clearly. They may have failed to recognize your worth, but you've long surpassed the need for their validation. Each step, each lesson has carved strength into you, shaping a self-assured resilience that no one else can define or limit. You are no longer bound by the narrow views of those who failed to understand the depth and brilliance within you. You don't wait for acknowledgement anymore because you know without question who you are and what you bring. The approval of those who once overlooked you has lost all significance, eclipsed by the clarity you hold within yourself. Through their dismissal, you found a new strength. You are no longer someone who waits for others to see what's evident to you. You have learned to trust your own vision, your own worth, instead of looking for confirmation from those too blind to see it. Each moment that chipped away at the illusion of their approval only sharpened your insight. You are now stronger, built from the resilience of moving forward when others doubted it, from the confidence in knowing that your worth is beyond their reach. You've transformed doubt into strength, not by trying to prove them wrong, but by simply being right about yourself all along. You've crafted a life where the need to look back no longer exists. You don't carry the burden of regrets. The path forward is far too bright to waste on the shadows of the past. Every choice, every moment of growth has led you to a place where their lack of recognition holds no weight. You don't need to wonder if you could have been different or if their understanding could have changed things. Those who underestimated you are not part of this life you're building. Their chapters closed, pages turned. Your journey isn't weighed down by the what-ifs or could-have-beens. It's propelled by the strength of a future defined entirely by you. In your life now, there is no room for those who don't see your value. You've cleared that space for those who genuinely understand and appreciate what you bring. Your circle is forged by those who recognize your worth, who value the light and strength that others took for granted. This freedom is yours, crafted by a commitment to yourself, by the release of people who couldn't match your depth or vision. You have carved a path that welcomes only those who reflect the energy, respect, and understanding you've come to demand. Your evolution isn't dependent on the approval of anyone. You've built a foundation so solid that it stands on its own, rooted in your unwavering belief in yourself. Now, you walk forward without hesitation, free from the need to prove, to explain, or to justify. The past is gone, held only as a distant memory, a reminder of how far you've come. Your focus is on the future, on the connections that feel like nourishment, on the people who see you fully without the need for explanations. Every step you take now is yours alone, a testament to your resilience, self-respect, and growth. You no longer look back because what lies ahead is infinitely more fulfilling. You are free, free to walk a path where only those who truly value you are welcome. This is your path, unwavering, purposeful, and solely yours. A life shaped by your choices, your strength, and your clarity of vision. Each departure, each face that faded from your life was not a loss, but a divine orchestration. Those who left were guided out by a force that sees beyond your human vision, a force that knows the depth of your soul and the heights of your potential. You were never meant to carry the weight of people who didn't see you, who couldn't appreciate the light and purpose within you. Their exits were part of a divine intervention, a cosmic clearing to create space for those aligned with your path, your purpose. Every person removed was an act of divine protection, a loving shield preventing their smallness from hindering your greatness. God's hand, powerful and precise, has moved through your life, directing each relationship, allowing only those who elevate your spirit to remain. The disappointments and departures were never random. They were carefully orchestrated steps in your journey. Those who once stood beside you only to fade away were stepping stones placed with intention, each one teaching you, refining you, and preparing you for a destiny far greater than you could have envisioned. God saw the ways they would try to limit you, the ways they would drain your light, and in perfect timing they were removed. Through these experiences you've gained a profound wisdom, a sharpened intuition that is itself a divine gift. You now see people with a clarity you didn't possess before, understanding that not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay. This wisdom is your armor, a spiritual discernment that allows you to recognize true connection from mere convenience, authentic care from hollow gestures. Each lesson has been etched into your soul, guiding you to trust your instincts, to value yourself in ways that no one else can. Your spirit is now finally attuned, able to detect who truly resonates with your journey and who does not. This freedom, the ability to release people without regret, is a gift of divine love. You are no longer bound to the need for approval from those who cannot grasp your worth. Each departure has freed you, piece by piece, unburdening your spirit from the weight of shallow connections. You have been shown that every person's exit was a blessing, a doorway to a deeper understanding of your own strength and purpose. God has guided each step, each interaction, and each parting to serve your highest good, aligning you closer with those who will honor the greatness within you. Your life has been cleansed of those who are only passing figures, temporary presences. In their absence, you are left with a stronger connection to your purpose, a clearer vision of the path God has laid before you. There is no bitterness in these losses, for they were never losses, they were gifts, each one removing what was no longer meant for you. You walk forward now, unburdened, holding within you a divine assurance that each step is blessed, each connection purposeful, and each departure a sacred act of protection. This understanding is your liberation. You are no longer weighed down by the need to question why people left or why relationships faded. Instead, you see these shifts as divine whispers guiding you toward people and places that reflect the light within you. You're guarded by a force that knows your value better than any human could, a force that shapes your path with intention and grace. Each step you take now is purposeful, protected, and divinely directed, carrying you toward a destiny filled with those who truly see you. The past holds no power, and the future is bound by the sacred assurance that you are moving exactly where you are meant to be, standing rooted in your strength, grounded in a power that needs no validation, no hesitant approval from those who fail to recognize you. You hold within you a force that stands unshaken, a presence that doesn't sway based on who notices or who falls away. Not everyone deserves access to your energy, your kindness, your wisdom. These gifts are not for just anyone, and they are certainly not for those who overlook them. You are not here to bend, to shrink, or to soften yourself for the comfort of those who cannot handle the magnitude of who you are. Your worth is carved into your very being, unyielding and absolute, shaped by your own understanding, not the fleeting perceptions of others. Do not allow the late awakenings of those who once overlooked you to define your value. Their realizations come too late, their newfound appreciation born only in the hollow absence of what you once offered freely. But you are not here to wait for others to catch up, to see what was in front of them all along. You are here to stand firm in the truth you've always known about yourself. Your worth is a constant shining from within, unaffected by the wavering recognition of those who could not see clearly. You carry a light that does not dim for those unwilling to open their eyes. You have stepped forward already, writing a new chapter, one filled with people who understand what a privilege it is to know you. This chapter is not a continuation of what came before. It's a bold, unbroken departure. You have left behind the lukewarm, the hesitant, those who fumbled with your presence as though it were something easily replaced. Now you walk alongside those who stand with you in full awareness of your worth, who do not flinch in the face of your strength, but instead rise to meet it. These are the ones who deserve your energy, who understand that your loyalty is rare, your compassion profound, and your insight unmatched. This is the space you were meant to occupy, surrounded by those who honor you, who do not wait until you're gone to see what you've always been. This new chapter is filled with progress and fulfillment, with each step forward an affirmation of the path you've created. By standing firm in your own truth, you've shed the weight of those who couldn't recognize your worth, freed yourself from the burden of waiting for others to value you the way you deserve. Your journey is your own, untethered from the opinions of those who didn't see the brilliance that radiates from within you. You are beyond the reach of their belated understanding, moving with a momentum fueled by self-respect and clarity of purpose. You are no longer looking back, questioning or doubting. You are moving forward with a strength that comes from knowing exactly who you are and exactly what you bring. The ones who failed to see you missed their chance. They remain in the past while you build a future defined by self-fulfillment and unwavering confidence. You've left behind a version of yourself that tolerated the half-hearted and the indifferent, stepping boldly into a reality where you are surrounded by those who genuinely see and value you. Your journey is one of progress, of standing tall in the fullness of your worth, knowing that you are enough just as you are. You are a force of resilience, your spirit unbreakable, your heart open yet discerning. You do not bend for those who only realize your value in hindsight. You move forward, liberated from their delayed recognition, empowered by the certainty that you deserve far more than what they offered. This chapter is yours, unfaltering, radiant, and unstoppable. Stand firm. You are not here to be understood by all, nor to be valued only when it's convenient for others. You are here to shine, to rise, and to walk alongside those who honor and appreciate you fully. This is your path, paved with strength, progress, and the unshakable understanding of your own world. You stand here, radiant and resolute, not because anyone else saw your worth, but because you saw it in yourself. You have moved beyond the limitations others tried to place upon you, creating a life that reflects the depth, resilience, and strength that define you. The paths of those who overlooked you have become distant, unimportant, because you no longer seek validation outside of yourself. Each step you take forward is a powerful declaration. You are enough, irreplaceable, and complete on your own. Your experiences, those moments of being undervalued, of standing in the shadows of others, misjudgments, these are now your strengths. They have given you the clarity to discern who deserves a place in your life and who does not. Now, your circle is filled with those who genuinely recognize you, who respect and cherish your presence. You've created a space where your energy flows freely, where your kindness is honored, and where your wisdom is cherished. This is your reward for choosing yourself. When others fail to reflect on your own story, remember the strength it took to move forward and the wisdom you gained in the process. Share your story, your moments of transformation, of realizing your value and embracing your own light. Let others see the path you've walked so they too can find courage and strength in their own journey. Speak your truth, the truth that only you can tell, and let others witness the power of a soul that refuses to settle for anything less than what it deserves. Your path is blessed, woven with purpose and lit by the resilience of your spirit. Hold this affirmation close. You are irreplaceable. May you walk forward with peace in your heart, strength in your steps, and love for yourself that grows with each passing day. You are not just moving through life. You are rising into the fullness of who you are meant to be. This is your journey, and it is nothing short of sacred.